My name is Simon Pick. I'm a third-year DM student originally from Remsen, Iowa, and I will be playing Arietta by Thomas Kerr. This piece is found in Volume 1 of the African American Organ Music Anthology, edited by Mickey Thomas Terry and published by Morningstar Music. Thomas Kerr was born in Baltimore in 1915. Unable to attend Peabody due to its refusal of admission to black students, he went to the Eastman School of Music, where he earned both bachelor's and master's degrees in piano. Kerr was an earnest performer and a prolific composer, having written over 100 pieces by the time of his death in 1988. These included works for piano, organ, voice, choir, and various chamber groups. Recognized for the quality of his compositions, Kerr was the recipient of a Rosenwald Fellowship in Composition in 1942 and won first prize in the Composers and Authors of America competition in 1944. Self-taught at the organ, Kerr served for many years as the organist of Plymouth Congregational Church in Washington, D.C., where, as he became intimately familiar with the instrument, he composed many organ pieces, including the Suite Sebastian, which was used in the dedication of the organ there. This piece, Arietta, was first published in 1957 and is dedicated to his parents, Geneva and Thomas Kerr Sr. Based upon the Christmas spiritual Rise Up Shepherds and Follow, this piece takes a quiet and lilting character which gently reflects the pastoral nature of the spiritual text.
playing for you Nuptial Song by Betty Jackson King. You'll find this in Volume 1 of the new African American Organ Music Anthology, published by Morningstar Music and edited by Dr. Mickey Thomas Terry. Betty Jackson King was born in 1928. She died in 1994. She was an American music educator, conductor, composer, and has been widely performed. Her compositions range from spiritual settings to opera and ballet. She is from Chicago, and a lot of her career she spent in the New Jersey area. She taught at Dillard University, and in 1969 was a public school teacher in Wildwood, New Jersey, and was influential in the integration of that school. This song, Nuptial Song, has a note on it that suggests, by the author, suggesting that it could be called meditation or andante if used in a liturgical setting as opposed to at a wedding. One of the features of this piece that's unique is the call for chimes. It presents a difficulty on a lot of instruments which don't have a set of chimes. I have done my best to simulate that on this instrument here at our hall using 2 keyboards. The flute on the swell is sustained while an initial attack of some mutations under enclosure in the choir box on the keyboard below gives the initial ping of the bell, and then the swell box on the swell gives the sense of decay of the bell. Just one of the possibilities for how you might reinterpret this if you don't have chimes to work with on your instrument.
Hello, my name is Philip Pampreen. I'm a graduating organ major with an additional degree in mathematics. I was born and raised in New Hampshire. I will be performing Fantasy, written by Eugene Hancock. Eugene Hancock lived from 1929 to 1993 and held positions at a number of churches in New York City, including the Cathedral of St. John the Divine and St. Philip's Episcopal Church. Hancock is noted for being an associate of the American Guild of Organists and for extensively promoting works by African American composers throughout the 20th century. Fantasy was written as a virtuoso work to be performed by and dedicated to Herman D. Taylor, who premiered it at the 1985 Black American Music Symposium. It features difficult pedal passages which use both feet simultaneously to create harmonic and rhythmic effects with the feet alone, usually not seen in organ music. The piece is found in Volume 1 of the African American Organ Music Anthology, edited by Mickey Thomas Terry and published by Morningstar Music. I hope you enjoy.
My name is Brandon Connor. I'm a third-year doctoral student at Indiana University. I'm originally from the San Diego area and currently serve as senior organ scholar at Christ Church Cathedral in Indianapolis. For this project, I'm playing Mark Fax's Prelude on St. Martin's, which is found in Volume 1 of the African American Organ Music Anthology, which is edited by Mickey Thomas Terry and published by Morning Star Music. Bit of background on the composer. Mark Fax was born in 1911. Before attending Syracuse University for undergrad, he was employed as both a church organist and a theater organist in his hometown. Following these studies at Syracuse, he attended the Eastman School of Music for composition. And while a student at Eastman, Fax served as a choirmaster as well as a custodian for a local church. Following these advanced studies in composition, Fax served as a director of the School of Music of Howard University until 1972, and he died in 1974. Now, this piece is based on the hymn tune St. Martin's, which is most commonly sung to the Pentecost hymn, Come Holy Spirit, Heavenly Dove. Now, this tune is first heard in the left hand on a solo reed following introductory material. This tune is accompanied by staccato pedal notes and a freely moving right-hand part. The pedal part encompasses a wide range and will work up to the highest note of the pedal board before the conclusion, which recalls the introductory material.
Pastorale by William B. Cooper is found in Volume 2 of the African American Organ Music Anthology, edited by Mickey Thomas Terry and published by Morning Star Music. William B. Cooper, a native of Philadelphia, was born in 1920. He received his bachelor's and master's from the Philadelphia College of Performing Arts and his doctorate from Columbia Pacific University in California. Over the course of his career, he served on the music faculties of Bennett College and Hampton University, as well as 26 years in the New York City school system. He composed for organ, voice, chorus, 19th century compilation, The Southern Harmony and Musical Companion. The tune is presented first in the pedal and is set with different variations throughout the piece, with different textures and harmonies surrounding it. Enjoy.
Hello, my name is Jihye Choi. I'm originally from South Korea. I'm currently pursuing the Doctor of Music program at IU. I'm going to play the Procession of the Gargoyles, composed by Thomas H. Kerr. This piece is found in Volume 2 of the African American Organ Music Anthology, edited by Dr. Mickey Thomas Terry and published by Morningstar Music. Composer Thomas Henderson Kerr, Jr. was born in 1915 in Baltimore, Maryland. Kerr was raised in a musical family. He began playing and studying piano as a young boy. He was a self-taught organist. Kerr wanted to attend the Peabody Conservatory in Baltimore, but African American students were not admitted during that period of time. He instead went to Howard University. He continued his musical studies at the Eastman School of Music and obtained degrees in piano and theory. He composed more than 100 pieces, including works for piano, voice, organ, choir, and chamber. Procession of the Gargoyles is extracted from his suite, Sebastian, an 8-movement work written for the dedication of the organ at Kerr's Church, Plymouth Congregational in Washington, D.C. It begins with a rhythmic pedal ostinato which emphasizes a sense of 5/4 meter. Ascending and descending triads figure with the tuba solo creates a unique atmosphere of the piece. Towards the end, the piece swells up to the full organ and ends with crunch rhythmic chords.
Hello, my name is Trent Whisenant, and I'm a master's student from Chatsworth, Georgia. Today I will be playing Solemn Processional by Robert A. Harris. Dr. Harris is a sought-after conductor, choral clinician, and adjudicator, and served as professor of conducting at the Northwestern University School of Music from 1977 to 2012. This is Dr. Harris's first work for solo organ and was written for the marriage ceremony of Leslie and Eric Britton, which took place on June 29, 1985. This piece is found in Volume 2 of the African American Organ Music Anthology, edited by Mickey Thomas Terry and published by Morningstar Music. Enjoy.
Undine Eliza Anna Smith Moore was known as the Dean of Black Women Composers. She was born in 1904 in Virginia and was the granddaughter of enslaved African Americans. Her family attended a Baptist church where the singing had a huge impact on her musical development. She said, "Above all, music reigned." She went to college at the historically black Fisk College in 1924 and actually received a scholarship from the Juilliard School of Music to study at Fisk. She also received a Master of Arts and Diploma of Music from Columbia University Teachers College. Undine Smith Moore taught piano, organ, counterpoint, and theory at Virginia State College. She was also director of the all-black D. Webster Davis Laboratory High School Chorus and wrote music for the choir both to meet their needs and to make up for the school's low budget. Throughout her life, she was always a teacher and always worked to champion black performers and composers. She was awarded many honors throughout her life, including an honorary doctorate from her very own Indiana University. Moore stated that her music always had a strong contrapuntal characteristic and acknowledged black folk music and Boeckh as true influences. In this piece, she sets the hymn to Nettleton, an American melody associated with the text, "Come thou fount of every blessing." Although this piece starts quietly and gently, it ends in joy and exuberance, reflecting her experiences in the Baptist churches of her childhood. This setting is found in Volume 2 of the African American Organ and Music Anthology, edited by Mickey Thomas Terry.
My name is Cogswell. I am a doctoral student at Indiana University, and I am originally from Connecticut. I will be playing Finale from Suite No. 1 for organ by Ulysses K., which can be found in Volume 3 of the African American Organ Music Anthology, edited by Dr. Mickey Thomas Terry, and published by Morningstar Music Publishers. Ulysses K. was a student of Howard Hanson at Eastman and of Paul Hindemith at Yale. He won the Prix de Rome twice and the Gershwin Memorial Award as well. Suite No. 1 for organ was commissioned and premiered by Marilyn Mason, and it exhibits neoclassical influences which can be heard in the polytonal writing and contrapuntal textures found in Finale.
Hello, my name is Jaime Carini, and I am from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Here at Indiana University, I am earning 2 doctorates, a Doctor of Music in Organ Performance and Literature, and a PhD in Musicology. This gem of a piece is an arrangement of Go, Tell It on the Mountain by Eugene W. Hancock. Dr. Hancock earned his doctorate in sacred music from Union Theological Seminary in New York City and held various positions in Detroit and New York City. For instance, in New York City, he worked at St. John the Divine, West End Presbyterian Church, and was professor of music at Borough of Manhattan Community College, which is part of the CUNY system. Go, Tell It on the Mountain is found in Volume 3 of the African American Organ Music Anthology, edited by Dr. Mickey Thomas Terry and published by Morningstar Music. This piece is a miniature exposition upon fourth relationships, which are present in the bass figuration as melodic intervals, in the upper voices as harmonic intervals, and in the structure as the piece unfolds through the tonic, subdominant, and tonic key areas. Program this sparkling work during your next Christmas service as an abbreviated prelude or hymn introduction.
My name is Shayla. I'm a first-year doctoral student in organ here at IU, and I'm from Pella, Iowa. Today I will be performing for you hymn tune variations on "O Master, Let Me Walk With Thee" by Noel da Costa. This piece can be found in Volume 3 of the African American Organ Music Anthology, edited by Mickey Thomas Terry and published by Morningstar Music. Noel da Costa was born in 1929 to Jamaican missionaries in Lagos, Nigeria. Early on in his lifetime, his family moved from Nigeria back to Jamaica and finally settled in the Harlem region of New York City. It was discovered early on that Noel was a very gifted violinist. He would later go on to attend Queens College as well as Columbia University for composition. Da Costa is well known for bringing elements of jazz, African, and Caribbean music into Western classical music. While he does not write a lot of organ music, this is perhaps his earliest piece that he wrote for organ, being composed when he was only 25 years old. The piece contains the original theme as well as 4 distinct variations, all of which show some of Da Costa's unique flavor for composition. I hope you will enjoy hymn tune variations on "O Master, Let Me Walk With Thee."
My name is David Berg. I'm originally from Seattle, Washington, and I'm currently pursuing a master's degree in organ performance at IU. I will be playing Evelyn Simpson-Curenton's Meditation on Were You There, which can be found in Volume 3 of the African American Organ Anthology, edited by Mickey Thomas Terry and published by Morningstar Music. Full of rich chromatic harmonies, this piece is marked to be played slowly and mysteriously, and Evelyn Simpson-Curenton's use of the tune Were You There reflects her dedication to the art of the African American spiritual. Evelyn Simpson-Curenton's prodigious talent shone from a young age, and as a 7-year-old she began to perform with her family as part of the Singing Simpsons, a renowned Philadelphia music group. And it's also worth mentioning that Evelyn Simpson-Curenton's sister, Arietta Simpson, teaches here at IU as Distinguished Rudy Professor of Voice. Highly sought after as a composer, organist, and vocalist, Evelyn Simpson-Curenton has been commissioned to write works for the American Guild of Organists, Duke Ellington, and George Shirley, among others. She is currently based in Washington, D.C., where she's director of the Washington Performing Arts Society's Men and Women of the Gospel and an associate of the Smithsonian Institution.
Hello everyone, my name is Dalong Bing. I am a third-year doctoral student at Indiana University, Jacobs School of Music, Organ Department. I'm from China. The piece I'm going to play is called Evening Song, composed by Dr. David Hurd in the year of 1978. In this piece, instead of drawing a clear voice-like solo line, the composer applied a series of chords moving in parallel motion to create a quiet and peaceful atmosphere. Dr. Hurd is a composer, concert organist, choral director, and music educator. Dr. Hurd was born in 1950. He received his Bachelor of Music degree from Oberlin Conservatory and Master of Music degree from the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. He later received a Doctorate of Music from Yale University. His compositions consist not only of organ music, but also choral music with an emphasis on sacred music. This piece can be found in Volume 4 of the African American Organ Music Anthology, edited by Dr. Mikey Thomas Terry and published by Morning Star Music.
Hello, my name is Nicholas Stegall and I'm from Knoxville, Tennessee. Here at Indiana University, I'm a sophomore studying organ performance with Dr. Jeanette Fischel. Today I will be playing David Hurd's Passacaglia, found in Volume 4 of the African American Organ Music Anthology, edited by Mickey Thomas Terry and published by Morningstar Music. Composed in 1966 when the composer was a 16-year-old high school student, Passacaglia was Dr. Hurd's first work for organ. The theme of this Passacaglia is unique in that it consists of 6 measures, rather than the typical 4 or 8 measures found in most triple-meter Passacaglias. Additionally, the theme lacks the characteristic upbeat and simply begins on beat 1. As the piece develops, canonic treatment of the theme can be heard in many varying textures. Dr. Hurd originally planned for this Passacaglia to be part of a larger work, paired with an introduction and/or fugue, but never got around to completing this. I would lastly like to thank David Hurd for his kind and helpful communication as I wrote this note for our Organic Voices project. Thank you very much.
My name is Travis Whaley. I'm a PhD candidate in musicology with a minor in organ performance from Cary, North Carolina. I will be performing O Come, Emmanuel by Evelyn Simpson-Curenton. This piece is found in Volume 5 of the African American Organ Music Anthology, edited by Mickey Thomas Terry and published by Morningstar Music. Ms. Curenton is a composer, organist, pianist, arranger, and clinician, among many other titles. She began piano at a young age and accompanied her family ensemble, the Singing Simpsons, in Philadelphia as a child. Her works have been performed by the Philadelphia Orchestra, the National Symphony, the Baltimore Symphony, and the U.S. Marine Band, to name just a few. She was commissioned to complete arrangements for Kathleen Battle, Jesse Norman, and the Met Opera Chorus for a concert in Carnegie Hall. In her piece, O Come, Emmanuel, Curenton sets the tune in 3 variations. The piece begins with a joyous and bombastic refrain that returns after the second variation and serves as the coda. The first verse follows the opening refrain in a similar style of thick chords and lush registration. The second verse is softer and full of colorful chromaticism. The final verse features the melody in the tenor and the accompaniment on a softer manual above. I enjoyed learning this piece and look forward to using it this coming Advent at church. Here is my performance of Evelyn Simpson-Curenton's O Come, Emmanuel.
Hello, my name is Chase Loomer, and I'm a doctoral student here at Indiana University. The piece you're about to hear is Let Us Break Bread Together by James Roland Braithwaite. Braithwaite was an American composer, organist, and educator who lived from 1927 to 2014. He worked as a professor of music at Talladega College and eventually became the music director of St. Bartholomew's Episcopal Church in Cambridge, Massachusetts. This particular piece was dedicated to Dr. Herman Taylor, a cardiovascular specialist who earned his medical degree from Harvard University in 1980. Let Us Break Bread Together is an extremely chromatic and contrapuntal composition. It reminds me of the music of late German Romantic composers such as Strauss and Mahler. This piece can be found in Volume 5 of the African American Organ Music Anthology, edited by Mickey Thomas Terry and published by Morningstar Music. Enjoy.
I'm Diana Chow, and I'm from Fort Dodge, Iowa. I'm currently a doctoral student in organ performance at the Indiana University Jacobs School of Music, studying with Christopher Young. I'll be playing Noel da Costa's Round About the Mountain, found in Volume 5 of the African American Organ Music Anthology, edited by Mickey Thomas Terry and published by Morning Star Music. A longtime faculty member at Rutgers University, Noel da Costa was a composer, conductor, and jazz violinist. Born in Nigeria to Jamaican parents in 1929, he moved to New York City at age 11, later attending Queens College and Columbia University, as well as training in Florence, Italy, on a Fulbright Fellowship. Round About the Mountain, a haunting and heartfelt setting of the African American spiritual of the same name, is the third movement of da Costa's spiritual set for organ, written in 1974.
My name is Lindley Wang, and I'm a first-year master's student at Jacobs. Today, I will be playing Partita on Detroit by David Hurd, which can be found in Volume 6 of the African American Organ Music Anthology, edited by Mickey Thomas Terry and published by Morning Star Music. This aptly named piece not only takes its name theme from the early American hymn tune Detroit, Forgive Our Sins as We Forgive, was also premiered by the composer himself as a commissioned work for the Detroit American Guild of Organists Convention in 1984. The work's theme is boldly announced at the beginning and goes through a series of 10 magnificent metamorphoses, including musical inversion, before being restated at the end as it was in the beginning, but even more grandly. I hope you enjoyed this set of variations and delight in the many ways David Hurd transforms the theme tune to Trent. Thank you.
My name is Yongzhang, and I'm a current doctoral student majoring in organ performance. The piece I'm about to perform is Reverie from Sweet Sebastian, an 8-movement work written by Thomas Kerr for the dedication of the organ at his church, Plymouth Congregational, in Washington, D.C. As a native of Baltimore, Thomas Kerr grew up in a music family. Kerr was a pianist as well as a self-taught organist and got his bachelor's and master's degree from Eastman. His familiarity to the organ and its capabilities causing him to write effectively for this instrument. In Reverie, the original stepwise motif wandering around among the different voices, and sometimes in inversions, sometimes with inversions. Together with the extreme chromatic harmonic language, Kerr weaved a beautiful picture of a daydream with mystery. This piece is found in Volume 2 of the African American Organ Music Anthology, edited by Mickey Thomas Terry and published by Morning Star Music. Hope you will enjoy it.
My name is Yumiko Tatsuta. I'm in the final year of my doctoral study at IU Jacobs School of Music. I'm originally from Tokyo, Japan. Today I'm going to play the chorale prelude on Liebster Jesu, Wir sind hier, composed by George Walker. He was born in 1922 and passed away in August in 2018. He was a composer, a pianist, and organist who has achieved many significant accomplishments, including being the first African American recipient of the doctoral degree in music from Eastman School of Music. This piece is one of the 3 pieces for organ, which was written in early 1960s for the purpose of church service use. The music is composed by using multiple meters, which gives the music a jazz-like effect. It begins and ends with a short introduction and a coda, which includes compound meter. It can be found in volume 6 of the African American Organ Music Anthology, edited by Dr. Mickey Thomas Terry and published by the Morning Star Music.
My name is Heather Orveck. I am from Chattanooga, Tennessee, and am currently finishing the first year of my doctorate in organ performance at the Jacobs School of Music at Indiana University. Born in Baltimore, Maryland in 1911, Mark Fax was an African-American composer, pianist, and professor of music. By age 14, he was already employed as a theater organist for silent films and as a church organist with focus on gospel music. He earned a Bachelor of Music degree from Syracuse University and a master's degree in composition from the Eastman School of Music. He taught music at Payne College, Black Mountain College, and Howard University, where he became director of the School of Music and later the acting dean of Howard's College of Fine Arts. His compositions include works for choir, symphony orchestra, chamber ensembles, voice, piano, and organ. This setting of George Newmark's 1641 hymn, Wir nur den lieben Gott lässt walten, translated He Who Allows Dear God to Rule, features the melody in the left hand, chromatic triplets dancing above, and a steady pedal beneath. The text deals with trust in God despite the unknown, which Fax alludes to as the harmonies move about restlessly before reaching a beautiful cadence near the end of the piece. This piece is found in Volume 7 of the African American Organ Music Anthology, edited by Mickey Thomas Terry and published by Morning Star Music.
Hi, my name is Nara Lee. I am studying organ with Dr. John Fisher at Jacobs School of Music. I am finishing my performer diploma this semester and will begin to pursue my Doctor of Music in organ and sacred music from this first semester. Today, I'm going to play a piece by Noel da Costa. The title is Postlude from Triptych. This piece is found in Volume 8 of the African American Organ Music Anthology, edited by Mickey Thomas Terry and published by Morning Star Music. Noel da Costa was born in Nigeria, and he came to the United States at age 11. He studied music at Queens College and Columbia University. He also studied with Luigi Dalla Piccola in Florence under a Fulbright scholarship. Noel da Costa served as professor of music at Rutgers University. The piece, Postlude, constitutes the last movement of Noel da Costa's three-movement triptych. This postlude has different character compared to usual postludes we can hear at churches. This piece has more lyrical, soft, and rhythmic elements. There are also many tempo changes, time signature changes, and repetition. There is no indication about the registration. I will change the registration frequently, especially at the repetition. Hope you enjoy this piece. Thank you.
My name is Colin Miller. I'm a master's student originally from Lafayette, Louisiana, and I will be performing Trent Johnson's Grotesque March from 3 characteristic pieces for organ. Trent Johnson is an organist, composer, and conductor, currently serving as organist and assistant director of music of the Unitarian Church of All Souls in New York City, and music director of the Oratorio Singers of Westfield, New Jersey. His compositions span a variety of genres, from opera to concertos, choral, and solo instrumental music. Johnson has also performed frequently as an accompanist for silent films, and these theatrical sensibilities certainly come through in Grotesque March. This piece is set in an ABA form. The A sections utilize the continuous quarter note bass line and fanfare-like rhythms expected of a march, but with chromatic lines, diminished chords, and tritones that create a devilish atmosphere that brings to mind the heavily stylized imagery in silent films such as L'Inferno or Hexen. The middle section maintains the march quarter notes in the pedal and fanfares, but moves these elements to the background under a more lyrical melody in the right hand. This piece is found in Volume 8 of the African American Organ Music Anthology, edited by Mickey Thomas Terry and published by Morning Star Music.
My name is Owen Tellinghusen, and I'm a freshman undergraduate student working towards a Bachelor of Music in Organ Performance. I will be playing A Toccata for November by Geoffrey Mumford. This piece is found in Volume 8 of the African American Organ Music Anthology, edited by Dr. Mickey Thomas Terry and published by Morningstar Music. Mumford is currently a professor at Lorain County Community College in Northern Ohio and has previously served as composer in residence and associate professor of composition at Oberlin College. This piece was originally conceived in 1985 for Mumford's wedding and features many time signature changes over both flowing melodic lines and tonal clusters. After the piece slows towards the end and grows to a near sforzando, the final measures bring the sound down dramatically, and the piece ends on a single sustained B. This is A Toccata for November.
I'm Jeanette Fischel, professor of music at the Jacobs School of Music, Indiana University, and chair of the organ department. The piece I'm about to play comes from the 9th volume of the African American Organ Music Anthology, edited by Mickey Thomas Terry and published by Morning Star Music. Undine Smith-Moore, who lived from 1905 to 1989, sometimes referred to as the Dean of Black Women Composers, was the granddaughter of slaves and the child of the segregated South. She graduated in 1926 from Fisk University with highest honors, went on to earn the MM degree from Columbia University. She pursued additional study at the Juilliard School, Eastman School, and the Manhattan School of Music, but eschewed a more glittering career in the Northeast to return to her Southern roots, where she was a leading music educator, serving in the public schools of Goldsboro, North Carolina, and on the music faculty of Virginia State University in Petersburg, Virginia. I'm very proud to say that in 1976, she received an honorary doctorate from Indiana University, Bloomington. On a personal note, I moved to Eastern North Carolina to teach at East Carolina University just after Dr. Moore's death, and I regret never having the opportunity to meet her. It is now my great honor to play the first performance and make the first recording of her variations on There is a Fountain, a work that was thought to have been lost. We are very grateful to Dr. Terry and Morning Star Music for having recovered it and making it available to all of us. This work is a short set of ingenious and evocative variations on William Cowper's beloved, yet controversial hymn text, There is a Fountain Filled with Blood, which ultimately became part of the highly influential Olney hymns of 1779. The hymn text uses graphic images to dramatically present the cleansing power of Jesus' sacrificial blood. And while it's definitely fallen out of favor with modern-day hymnal committees, this text is a reminder of past generations' comfort level with earthy, poetic images that seek to bridge the gap between what it means to be human and the divine. Dr. Moore bases her variations on a haunting tune that differs from the rather jaunty gospel song so often associated with this text. Here we have a more plaintive, elegiac, and rough-hewn melody. Its minor key and modal fluctuations seem to convey the heaviness of the sinner's load. It is music by and for a people acquainted with grief. I'm delighted to be joined by Chase Sanders of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, who is currently pursuing the MM in vocal performance here at the Jacobs School of Music under the direction of Professor Heidi Grant Murphy. Chase will sing the first stanza of this hymn tune a cappella, and this will be followed by a harmonized tune, 3 variations Dr. Moore likens to those in Felix Mendelssohn's Sixth Organ Sonata, Movement 1, and a final chorale in triumph. Those familiar with Mendelssohn's Sixth Organ Sonata will immediately recognize the references, but I hasten to add that Dr. Moore's piece stands on its own merits, taking us from somber reflection in the opening chorale to 3 variations that each mimic in different ways the stream flowing from the side of Christ, who was the fountain of salvation, and then finally leaving us with a majestic setting that affirms the sinner's steadfast faith in that salvation.
There is a fountain filled with blood drawn from Emmanuel's veins, and sinners plunge beneath that flood beneath that flood, lose all their guilty stains.
I'm Jeanette Fischel. I'm professor of music at the Jacobs School of Music and chair of the organ department. The piece I will play next is found in Volume 9 of the African American Organ Music Anthology, edited by Dr. Mickey Thomas Terry and published by Morningstar Music. David Hurd was born in 1950, is a graduate of Oberlin College Conservatory and the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. While pursuing graduate work, he served as assistant chapel organist and assistant director of choral activities at Duke University. In 1976, he began nearly 4 decades as professor of church music and director of chapel music at the General Theological Seminary in New York City. Concurrently, he has also taught at Yale University, Westminster Choir College, and the Manhattan School of Music. Dr. Hurd served as assistant organist at New York's Trinity Church Wall Street, where he worked alongside the commissioner and dedicatee of this work, Larry King. He is currently organist and music director at the Church of St. Mary the Virgin in Midtown Manhattan. The composer is known for his masterful improvisations and compositions for choir, organ, and congregation. Among his many honors, he became the 15th recipient of the American Guild of Organists Distinguished Composer Award. A longtime friend of mine, it has been a joy and an honor to learn this magnificent toccata, which serves as the first movement of his large-scale essay on the Gregorian Hymn of Praise, Te Deum Laudamus. I quote here the composer's note, which is found in the full score. Quote, "Toccata, the acknowledgement, uses the traditional solemn tone for the first verse of the Latin hymn Te Deum as cantus firmus in the bass. The 2 phrases of the chant form the opening and closing sections of the movement, while the middle section is a short fugue based on the melody of the first phrase." End quote. I believe David Hurd's setting lives up to the awe-inspiring essence of the text, which inspired the title, The Acknowledgement. And a quote from the Latin in translation, "We praise thee, O God. We acknowledge thee to be the Lord."
The toccata on Lift Every Voice and Sing by Mark Miller, New Jersey composer and Drew University professor, is a fireworks display for organ. The piece is based on the famous hymn, Lift Every Voice and Sing, often dubbed the African American national anthem, and written by James Weldon Johnson. The piece will be published in the forthcoming Volume 9 of the African American Organ Music Anthology by Morning Star Music.
my name is Chris Young, and I'm professor of organ at the Jacob School of Music, Indiana University in beautiful Bloomington, Indiana. George Theophilus Walker was a brilliant pianist, composer, and pedagogue. He was a child prodigy, studying piano and graduating at 18 from Oberlin College, where he also took organ lessons from the legendary Arthur Poyster. Later, he trained under Rudolf Serkin at the Curtis Institute of Music, becoming the first African American to receive the artist diploma, and he earned a doctorate from the Eastman School of Music. The list of awards and honors bestowed upon Walker is lengthy and includes a Pulitzer Prize, which was another first for an African American composer, as well as numerous prestigious fellowships and honorary doctorates, and he was elected to the American Academy of Arts and Letters. Walker composed sets of 3 pieces and a set of 2 pieces in the 1980s and 1990s, and he also composed a work titled Spires that was commissioned by Dr. Mickey Thomas Terry for his performance in the 1998 American Guild of Organists National Convention held in Denver. Elevation, the first of the 3 pieces, conjures the mystical nature of the transubstantiation and channels the rhapsodic, harmonic, and gestural characteristics of Frescobaldi's well-known Elevation toccatas. This piece is found in Volume 9 of the African American Organ Music Anthology, edited by Mickey Thomas Terry, and published by Morning Star Music. Hello, my name is Chris Young, and I'm professor of organ at the Jacob School of Music, Indiana University in beautiful Bloomington, Indiana. George Theophilus Walker was a brilliant pianist, composer, and pedagogue. He was a child prodigy, studying piano and graduating at 18 from Oberlin College, where he also took organ lessons from the legendary Arthur Poyster. Later, he trained under Rudolf Serkin at the Curtis Institute of Music, becoming the first African American to receive the artist diploma, and he earned a doctorate from the Eastman School of Music. The list of awards and honors bestowed upon Walker is lengthy and includes a Pulitzer Prize, which was another first for an African American composer, as well as numerous prestigious fellowships and honorary doctorates, and he was elected to the American Academy of Arts and Letters. Walker composed sets of 3 pieces and a set of 2 pieces in the 1980s and 1990s, and he also composed a work titled Spires that was commissioned by Dr. Mickey Thomas Terry for his performance in the 1998 American Guild of Organists National Convention held in Denver. Invocation, the third of the 3 pieces, utilizes mixed meter and polyphonic treatment of chant-like thematic material for the core central section of the work. A majestic and homophonic introduction returns slightly modified to form bookends to the imitative and energetic interior. This piece is found in Volume 9 of the African American Organ Music Anthology, edited by Mickey Thomas Terry and published by Morning Star Music.